Hello. Hello. So, Joe's not here tonight. So I have to sit here by myself wondering, is anybody out there? Oh, it's a Pink Floyd song. Is there anybody out there? What is that? Hey You? From the Wall? Yes, I believe so. I'm sitting here talking to myself like an idiot. Oh my God. Seriously? Anybody? 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 Simona, thank God. Okay. I sit here by myself wondering if anybody's here. All right. Hi, baby. All right. Thursday night, so I am live. Hi, Care. All right. My peeps are on. I'm good. So, oh, and Wilmsy. Okay, look at that. I mean, I got serious squad action going tonight. Wilma, Karen, and Simona. All right, I'm a happy girl. I am a happy, happy girl. Anyway, so tonight, what am I talking about? This is something very near and dear to my heart. It is the 4 agreements, which is backwards when you do Facebook. And Jada, hi Jada. The 4 agreements. This is my Bible. It stays by my bed. I love it. It was introduced to me a number of years ago, and I love it. And I get new things from it when I read it. I often will refer back to it. And so tonight, I wanted to discuss what was the 2nd agreement. There are 4 agreements here. The first one is be impeccable with your word, which basically says don't say anything sucky or shitty or gossipy or any of that stuff. And just use your voice for kindness and that kind of stuff. And that's so important. And I could do a Facebook Live on each and every one of these agreements because they're just so very important. But I guess the don't take anything personally, the 2nd agreement, always has resonated with me. It is, I think for women, maybe more than men, I don't know. I think this is really difficult for us to not take things personally. And it's an art to not take things personally and do what you say you'll do. Right, exactly. So be impeccable with your word, do what you say you'll do. Don't take anything personally. It's really easy, and you can tell people that all day long. Oh, don't take it personally, don't take it personally. But it is really, really super important to understand that it is a process. And a lot of the things that I talk about work that way. It's a process. This is not something that happens overnight, but if you say it over and over again, pretty soon you do start to believe it. So as my dear Karen always says, and you know, Karen, I'll get this wrong, I always do. Thoughts become words, words become meaning, action. I butchered it, sorry. But it's basically saying like your thoughts are so important, and it's so important to keep them healthy that because they become words, and then words become actions, and it becomes who you are. So if you fill your head with bad shit, then you're gonna feel bad. If you fill your head with good shit, then you're gonna feel good. So that's really what that means. So how do you not take things personally? Well, if you guys listened last week, my conversation was about children saying things like, I hate you, you suck, things that definitely sound personal, like a personal assault on you. And what this book has taught me is that how do you not take it personally? How do I not take it personally when, nice hair, hi, how you doing? How do I not take it personally when, let's say, someone's interviewing me to hire me to help them with their child, and we get finished and they say to me, that was not at all what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, this isn't going to work. No. Or if somebody meets me once and then doesn't call back or anything like that, I could I could sit, now let's just keep in mind, about, I would say 5 years ago, this is when I started reading this book, those thoughts, I could ruminate and obsess over why these people didn't call me back. What could I have said differently? How could I have handled it differently? What did I do wrong? Why are they not calling me back? I suck. Oh my God, I suck. I suck. I should stop what I'm doing. I totally suck. I'm not going to do this. I suck. That is the dialogue in my head a couple years ago, like 5 years ago. And I know that that's the dialogue that happens to a lot of people. It doesn't happen to all people, but it happens to a lot of people. Right, Kira says, and they say that in the book, it is not about you. So now what happens when somebody says to me, yeah, Elise, this is not at all what I thought you were offering. This is not going to work. I don't really like your process. I don't like what you do. I think what you do sucks. That certainly sounds like a personal assault on me. I could sit and I could get pretty upset about that and say, oh my God, I'm terrible. But now the way that I frame that type of conversation is, you know what? This just isn't the right fit. What they are expecting is not what I am offering. And all that means is that it's not the right fit. So what does this mean professionally? So when people are looking for a job, if somebody gets fired, if they're having a difficult time at work, your boss tells you how much you suck. You know you don't suck. I could never suck. Thank you, Simona. Everyone tells you how much you suck. The way to reframe that is to say, I am just not a fit here. My skill sets are just not a fit here. It doesn't mean I suck. You know, why do you suck and not your job? Why does your boss not suck? It's just not a fit. And so that is the quickest, easiest way that you can reframe that kind of thing that happens to you. So if it ever happens to you in the professional atmosphere, that is my go-to thing. It's just not a fit. Now, if this happens to you, this is why I love getting older. I understand this a little more each day. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm definitely not for everyone. Absolutely. And you know what? That's true of friends. That's true of romantic partners. You know what? You're not for everybody. I'm not for everybody. I'm a lot to handle. A lot of people may not like me professionally, socially, whatever it is. But you know what? I am working on myself every day, being the best version of myself. So if I'm not a fit, I'm not a fit. So that's the first thing that I tell people if they're looking at these types of rejections on a professional basis. Now, if somebody says it to you the way I talked about last week, when children say, I hate you, I don't think anything could sound like more of a personal assault than your child saying, I hate you, or something that's just mean-spirited. Again, it's not about you, and I said this last week, it's not about you. When Peyton said something to me that was hurtful, I, in that very moment, said, this is not about me. This is about Peyton. These words tell me that she is struggling. So Kira was 100% right when she said, this is not about you. This is about that person. Now, in the instance of a child saying, I hate you, they're trying to communicate. What are they trying to communicate? What are they trying to say? That's not always the case. It may not be that. It may be someone sees you, someone could be watching me right now, and they could write a comment saying, you're so stupid. You think you know what you're talking about, but you suck. You suck. And you know what I say? I could say the same thing about the professional. I'm just not a fit for you. But what if they say, you don't even know what you're talking about. You suck so bad. My response to that is the information that you come to the table with. You are watching it with your set of eyes. That doesn't make you right. That doesn't make you wrong. It makes you what you're thinking right now. So if someone is hateful, they say hateful things. And I love this because in the book, it's as if this guy knows, like, okay, but what about this situation? What about that situation? What about the person that walks right up to me and says, I'm a fat fuck and I suck and I'm stupid and I'm ugly and all those things? That is their interpretation of me. So you really have to flip it around, and it does take work. You are absolutely right, Elise, and you're phenomenal what you do from an incredible amount of experience you've had. I'm convinced you get your hair professionally done every week. No, in fact, I think it's really not. I'm not having a very good hair moment right now, but okay. Let us not digress. But I think that it's so important because I feel like all of us have had that happen to us where someone's like, you suck, you're so ugly, you're not pretty, or blah, blah. And you know what? That's their opinion. And I have to say that it does come with age. There's a certain amount of that comes with age, but this is something that I even try and teach to my children now. When Spencer was getting bullied and people were like, you suck, Spencer, you're whatever. I said that, listen, it doesn't make it easy because you are in middle school in a small private school where there are very few places for you to run and hide. However, I need you to understand that the fact that this child is talking to you this way tells me that he's got a real issue. And with most bullies, their home life, talk about sucks. Their home life sucks. There's not something that's happening at their home life for them to be so mean to other children. So, you know, you have to consider all of these things. And it is never, 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 never too young to start teaching these lessons to our children about not personalizing information. Because trust me, they will have it for the rest of their life. There are going to be people that tell them they suck. Hi, Cher. There are going to be people that tell them they suck. There are going to be people that tell them they don't know how to do the job. They can't do this. They can't do that. And in a society now where, you know, teachers aren't allowed to use red pens because it makes the children feel bad. We need to prepare our children for the real world and how difficult life can be once they get out of the cocoon of no red pens. And that's honestly what part of my whole community is about, is taking pieces from the connected parent and taking pieces from, you know, old school parents and putting it all together into our amazing parenting pioneers and making us what we are. And this is one of the things, getting your children to understand not to take it personally. Now there's a caveat in that. It's an important caveat. This does not give you permission to be a douchebag. Okay? You can't walk around and be like, that's their opinion. Oh, they just think I'm a douche, but that's their opinion because they're coming to it with their set of eyes. No, no. If you're a douche, stop being a douche. If a lot of people tell you you're a douche, you need to stop being a douche. And if a lot of people are telling you the same thing, like that you're not a nice person, you may want to think about that. But in terms of everything else, you can't take it personally. Now, if at work they're telling you, you know, look, you don't have the skill set, blah, 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 maybe it's true. But again, it's just that you are not a fit for that particular job. And, you know, I had a friend who was going through a very difficult time at work, and she was so incredibly qualified in her area. But you want to know something? She took a bad job that was a bad fit. Besides the fact that her boss was an asshole, it wasn't the right fit. Her incredible expertise was not being utilized in this particular job. It was being underutilized. So I kept saying, it's not about you. This is about them. And this is why it's so important to fill yourself with such amazing positive reinforcements. I have been talking to Peyton and telling her, because she's like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I tell her, I need you to repeat after me. I am awesome. She won't do it. She says awesome-ish. So we're working on her getting to awesome, but you need to have that conversation with yourself about being great and doing your best. And actually that's what the 4 agreements builds on. And that you can't take anything personally because you've already done the first agreement, which is be impeccable with your word. And you've already done the next agreement, which is do your best. And your best changes every single day. Maybe you guys let me know if you want to talk about all the other agreements, because they really do build on each other and they make such perfect sense into this beautiful, beautiful book. And I recommend, honestly, I wish I could write such an amazing book that's so mind altering and has such an impact on people's lives. But they really do build on each other, and you realize that, yes, Joe Bellotta says, yes, we would like more information about the 4 agreements. Joe Bellotta loves the 4 agreements. Anyway, so that's really all I have to say. It's pretty simple. It's not that complicated, but it is super, super important. And like I said, I keep it on my bedside table, and this one, don't take it personally. If someone calls you a big fat bitch, a big ugly bitch, or fires you from a job, make sure you read this. Do not take it personally. That's the other thing that was so interesting that they say, is that it's not about you. That's a really, really self-indulgent thing, to think that everything's about you. Like, the world actually revolves around you. Guess what? They could be having a hard time. They could have a wife at home that's not nice. They could have a husband at home that's not nice. They could have 1,000,001 things going on in their life that has nothing to do with you. That is true of relationships, friendships, jobs, everything. When someone gets upset or whatever, and they're coming at it with their set of eyes, and you have to understand that. Of course, you talk to them about it and you get through it, but you know, there are a million times that I was upset, and I always say it was the movie running in my head. And you have to stop thinking about yourself so much and start thinking about other people. That's how you build empathy, sympathy. Get out of your own head. The world is not revolving around you. So start thinking about what might be going on for other people. And you'll do everybody a favor, and you'll start to feel a lot better. It is so hard sometimes. It is, but you have to say it. You have to say it, and you have to read it over and over again. That's why I say this was on my bedside table. So it's not a joke. It's not something like, oh yeah, you read once. No, it takes reminding. And that's why, you guys, I try and post the things that I post every day as reminders of how awesome we can be, and just simple life reminders like that don't ever hurt to hear over and over and over and over and over again, until one day it clicks. That doesn't mean that you'll stay in a job where your boss is not nice, or your boyfriend is mean, or your husband, or any of those things. It just means that you can get through it a lot better and a lot happier. So I hope it helps. I saw there were a lot of comments. Did I get to everything? This is the agreement I've been struggling with so much lately. So glad you're touching on it tonight. Well, I hope I answered it, because it's not complicated. That doesn't mean that it's not difficult. It is difficult, but it's not complicated. And when you realize that it's just not about you and it's about somebody else, it's a lot easier to let go of. And put yourself in their shoes. You can do an exercise in your head and say, I wonder what went on last night. I wonder what went on a week ago for this person. What happened to them a year ago? What kind of childhood did they have that they would walk around the way that they do? So this person that was having a difficult time in her job, and her boss was like the biggest asshole ever, I thought to myself, what must go on in this man's mind that he would speak this way? There's got to be something. Something went amiss for this person. So now, does that make it easier? No, it's still difficult. But when you realize that it's not about you, it takes the sting away. So anyway, that's it for tonight, you guys. Nothing I mean, I was gonna say nothing too earth-shattering, but it is. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. It really does change the way you look at all relationships, professional, marital, friendships, everything. It really is a game changer. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I had to go to middle school tonight for Peyton. Hello, my baby, middle school, not funny, not funny. They were talking about a choice program that Peyton wants to do. Oh, I can't even believe it. Really? She wants to do some biomedical choice program where they dissect pigs and things. Anyway, time goes quickly. Oh, enjoy it all. Enjoy the babies while they're babies. Enjoy all of it. It goes so fast. I know it doesn't really seem to go fast when they're 3. That one's a little slower. But then they hit like 5 and it's awesome. Anyway, that is it for me, you guys. Like I said, let me know if you want me to touch on these things next week, go into the other agreements. They're so amazing. And we can take it from there, because I know everybody, you guys have read this book and everybody has something amazing to say. Thank you. I have been trying to step back and not respond defensively when people have been attacking or judging me or just disrespectful, working over my, yeah, you have to. You have to. Like I said, Sherry, I don't know if you got on when I was saying it, but that you cannot personalize that information by saying, this is just their standpoint. This is where they're coming from, not necessarily correct. So if they're judging you, chances are they're judging themselves even more harshly. And you just need to get out of your own way. And it says it in the book, and Kira reiterated it. It's not about you. It's not about you. And if you stop making it about you and you start to empathize with people, it's a lot easier. You know who does this? Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is amazing, amazing at this. He is like, you don't have to like me. I don't have to like you. And who would think that anybody doesn't like Tony Robbins? But, you know, he does what he does, and that's that. And he says, I don't have to get along with everybody, but they're coming from somewhere. They have they have a history. They're coming from somewhere. And you just have to empathize with that and understand it. So I think that's how people forgive, when they understand another person's point of view and where they come from. So it's a process, but start with that. Anyway, that is it. Hi, Thanksgiving's around the corner. How you doing? Oh my God. And still hot as hell in Florida. And that is it. And Kira, I have to say, I am beyond honored that you're tuning in. Kira's in Napa for her birthday, and she is here on Facebook. Anyway, if you guys remember, Kira was the one talking about the eating disorders and avoiding eating disorders and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, that is it, you guys. That's all I have for you. Next week, what we gonna talk about? Who wants to hear what? Let me know. All right, you guys. I love you. I will talk to you next week. Bye.